Hey guys, how's it going? We are back for the Q&A. Brent is not here today. He is not feeling very well, so it is just me. Sorry, you guys have to hang out with just me today. And there was no Q&A last week, so we're doing really great over here, obviously. We're going to jump right into it because it's the end of the day and I am also very tired. So, last week there was no Q&A, and then the videos from last week were private tour at Walter's Gardens, greenhouse glow up with the shelves, baskets, and vintage finds. And then we did plant shopping at Home Depot, hunting for fall color, and then the front window box, which looks so good. And then we had done what I found at the Great Junk Hunt. And yeah, so it was a good week. We got some stuff done, a little bit of shopping, 2 things around the garden, and then lots of other things done. So overall, it was a pretty good week. I'm very happy with it. So let's just jump right into it. I don't think I have any announcements or anything that I'm supposed to be telling you guys. We'll see if I remember later on. Last week, the first video that we did, I'm only pulling questions from 4 of the videos. There were no questions on the tour at Walter's Gardens. So I didn't pull any questions. There was only a couple comments even on it too. So we will start off with the video of inside the greenhouse, which was the greenhouse glow up with shelves, baskets, and vintage finds. The first question on that video is from Heather, and she had said, first time viewer, where do you live? What gardening zone? We are in Northern California, and we are in zone 9A, and we're like pretty Northern California. And it's hot here, it's dry here. I have an issue with gardening zones that say that I just have an issue with the USDA growing zone because there's 9 Florida, there's 9 California, there's 9, I think Georgia has a 9. There's so many different 9s, and all of those are very, very different. So I take it with a very small grain of salt. I am part of the Sunset Growing Zone 9, and that is what I do like to look at because that is more microclimates. Not all of the U.S. has a sunset zone. Sunset zone is just for kind of like the southern states and most of the states on the west coast. So if you are in a west coast state or a southern state, look up if you have a sunset growing zone. Just type in your zip code, and if it pops up, then you do. And that is a really great way to know your microclimate. The next question on that video is from Cindy, and she had said, do you plan on putting the rows back in the ground? I don't think the pond is deep enough for those roots. I do plan on it once I see that it actually survived and I see some growth happening. If I don't see any growth happening on it, then I'm going to just assume it didn't make it. I'm going to give it probably like 2-3 weeks, and then I should see some type of life from it. If I don't see anything, we're just going to end up tossing it. And I probably will end up getting another one because it is a really fabulous rose. It's a pink iceberg. The next question on that video is from Lindsay, and she had said, hey Robbie, how about a 13-gallon plastic trash can for inside the basket? I can't wait to see what you find at the market. I am trying to find something that fits. I'm actually not even going to worry about it until after we come back from our vacation. I've got a million other things that I need to even think about. But yes, when I come back from my vacation, then I'm going to start doing some research on, I'm going to get the measurements for the inside, the top, and the bottom to see what trash can I can fit inside there to keep our soil in. I just am a little bit nervous about breaking it and ruining it because it is a really pretty basket and it's French, and I don't want to ruin it. So I will find a plastic trash can. I just got to make sure it's the right height and size. I've also thought about getting something like kind of fabricated for the inside of it, but we'll see what happens. The next video that we did, we're going to just fly through this Q&A, probably the shortest Q&A we've ever done, was our Home Depot video, hunting for fall color. I actually had pretty decent luck, which was really, really nice. I think you guys are going to see, I think it's this week, it might be next week, fall shopping, and it does not go well. The first question on that video is from Cynthia, and she had said, hi Robbie and Brent. Question, would you recommend lemon cypress as a privacy wall? I'm trying to hide an ugly 2-tone brick wall. Does it grow fast and do well in full hot sun? Zone 10A, thank you. Kind of depends on where you are. 10A, if you're Southern California 10A, I'm sure it would do absolutely fabulously for you. If you're like Arizona, that might be a little bit rough because that's a little intense. I think it's worth a shot. They grow so beautifully. They grow really quickly. Ours is just a couple years old, and the one that we bought was one from Home Depot that was this big when I bought it. So yes, I would definitely recommend them. I think they're so beautiful, especially as like a hedge if you wanted to do like a screen for a privacy wall. Totally worth it. They grow fast. They take really well to pruning too. So if you need to like prune something, primo. And they don't get super crazy tall or super crazy wide. Like I said, just don't listen to that plant tag. I think the plant tag said that it only gets like 2 to 3 feet wide. Ours is probably like 5 feet wide. So they do get wide. They also do get like a decent height. Ours grew really fast, and then now it's kind of in its like slow down phase. So a lot of trees, they'll get to a really good size, and then they just slowly continue to grow is what it is. So this is now in its like slow continue to grow phase. Totally worth it though. If you're in Arizona, I would probably just buy one, if we're being honest, and see if it survives a year. If it doesn't survive a year, maybe give it a second shot. You're gonna want to give them water though. They really like water. So don't think that you can just put it in the ground and just be like, yeah, I'm gonna water it once a week. Our irrigation goes off every single day. It goes off twice a day. It even goes off once a day during the winter, because in the winter we don't really get rain here. If you're in zone 10A, I'm also probably assuming you don't really get a whole lot of rain. Maybe if you're in Southern California, still lots of water for these guys. The next question on that video is from What's Up, and they had said, I have stopped growing onions and garlic or any root crop, even in my raised beds, because of jumping worms. Can you tell me your thoughts? Is the fertilizer safe for growing produce, or do you have a different plan? Thanks. First off, I'm so sorry that you're dealing with jumping worms. They are a nuisance. I've had multiple mental breakdowns over them. So we looked it up. I would definitely do your own research on it. We are using tea seed meal, and it comes from camellia, the like byproducts of camellias. So it's organic, and you can use it around vegetables. They say not to like go crazy amount with it, but you can use it around vegetables. I plan on doing tomatoes, garlic, and onions this year is really all I plan on, or next year is all I'm going to plant them this year. That's all I plan on doing though for next year's harvest, and I'm not going to be worried about it. We looked it up, and it was saying something about like some types of fruits can have like weird taste on them. But other than that, I'm using the tea seed meal in our garden. I will put a link to it in the description down below. And so far we are seeing really, really great results with it. I've gotten that question a lot too. So far the results have been fabulous. It has not eradicated them yet though. So we're still dealing with them. We had a full-blown infestation. And the last question on that video is from Alex, and they had said, how do you choose plants for your fall garden? Do you have any favorite varieties that always bring joy? I think for me, most years I go off the color palette, whatever that vibe is. This year I'm leaning more towards oranges for my fall palette, which is not a palette that I've normally done. Usually I go for like a purples for my fall palette, like soft purples, soft pinks, with like some like muted oranges. Not so much, just a little bit. This year I'm leaning more towards oranges and reds. One of my favorite things to use in the garden is ornamental kale. I love that for fall time. They don't always last the longest, and sometimes they can be extremely expensive. I like to buy the ones that are already pretty big. I've bought some of the smaller ones before, and they never really bulk up for me. So I like to buy the ones that are quite large, ornamental kales, ornamental cabbages. I just think that they are so pretty and so English and just so cottagey. They're hands down one of my favorites. My least favorite is mums, but I do still buy them because I do think that they have a really good pop of color when they're all in bloom. Other than that, I love ornamental kales, and so many people think that they're such a waste of money, and I don't even care because I just think that they're so beautiful. The next video that we did was planting my fall window box and how much it cost. And I just cannot believe how much plants cost. It's absolutely ridiculous. The first question on that video is from Michelle, and she had said, looks great, and after the pumpkins go in, it's going to be a showpiece. Have you considered painting the box black? We had actually originally talked about painting them black, but it gets so hot up there and it just cooks. It would totally cook the roots. So we can't have any black container up there. I actually really, really, really wanted a black house. I wanted a black house with copper gutters and with like an off black for all of the trim. Stunning. But because we get in a place where it's a cool 91 degrees in the winter time or in the fall time, and will cool down to like the 80s for winter and 115 for summer, we cannot do black. So I have black trim on our house, and even that is kind of a stretch Sometimes the wood warps because it gets so hot. And so, no, we cannot have the window box black. I wish that we could have black. I cannot do it when it's in a full sun area. The next question on that video is from Stephanie, and they had said, question, Robbie, what brand / kind of irrigation tubing do you use? Mine keeps getting scratched open by something or splits / ruptures easily. Not sure what is happening. We use the Rainbird drip tubing. It's worked great for us. I will say, if you do deal with squirrels, I know some people who, not in my direct area, but in my area and some of my friends, I have installed drip at their house before, and they have squirrels, and the squirrels will chew through the drip lines. So if you deal with squirrels, that could be something that is happening. I will say also, in the past, I have bought cheap irrigation tubing, and I have noticed a huge difference. So now we use the Rainbird. When I was up at Walter's Gardens, Proven Winners, they brought some of their drip tubing irrigation kits. They have like a really, they have a kit that's like an easy kit or something like that. I'm going to put a link to that one too, and I'll put a link to some of our irrigation that we use. The Proven Winners one, the lines on it were so thick, and they felt really, really nice. So if you're looking to switch, that might be a really good one also. And if you're looking to get into irrigation, if you don't have your garden on irrigation and you want to, the Proven Winners kit that just like comes all with like everything you need. It comes with your emitters, it comes with your connectors, it comes with your tubing. The tubing on it was very, very high quality. The next question on that video is from Terry, and she had said, hi Robbie and Brent. Robbie, have you ever thought to start seeds for your fall window boxes? Maybe that will offset the price. Thank you for your content. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you for being here. I have thought about it, and I think about it most years, but I think about it at fall time, unfortunately. I don't think about it in the middle of summer, which is when I need to be thinking about fall time planting. So that is the biggest downfall, is I just don't think about it soon enough. I think about it the second that I'm ready to get planting. We're like middle of summer. Who's thinking about fall? You know, you're trying to enjoy summer, and we're trying to survive summer here. And I'm not thinking about fall. So next year, I think I want to be a little bit more mindful about that. I would like to, like July, end of July, start some of my fall seeds. That's crazy. Yeah, so July, I'm gonna have to start fall seeds next year. It's something that I would like to do, because I would like to do some of the ornamental kales. They're so expensive that I would like to grow my own. So I got to get the seeds for that. It's way too late now. So I think I'm going to start them next July, and just kind of see if I can get that going. The other issues are really hot here. So I am afraid that if I do start them, they will grow and then they will shoot up in size, because it's just a little too hot here. You know, they'll go to seed pretty quickly. So we'll see what happens. But yes, next year I would like to think about that. And the last video for the week was the Great Junk Hunt. And my thoughts on that one are, I'm going to say right now I probably won't go again next year. When it rolls around, there's a good chance that I go again. I think the last one that we went to, Brent and I talked about, and we ended up getting a really nice piece of furniture the previous time that we had gone. And even at that one, we were like, okay, I don't know if this is worth it again. I don't think we're going to go to the next one. And then it rolled around, and I was like, can we go? We should go. Let's go. And I bought tickets, and then we went. And so I'm saying now that I probably won't go to the next one. But there's a good chance when it rolls around that I will go to the next one. The first question on that video is from Sandy, and she had said, hi, Robbie. Love seeing so much of Brent. He has the nicest smile. It's too bad you didn't find more at the Great Junk Hunt, especially a table for your greenhouse. I do like the base that you found and the other items. Did you guys decide to just build your own table? The advantage to that is that you can build it to fit your needs. Thank you so much for sharing. We have decided to build our own greenhouse table. I actually ordered some table legs. I ordered a set of 3 of them. When they get here, I will review them and let you guys know if it was worth it. I think I paid like $175 for table legs, but they're really beautiful, and they're counter height. I didn't want table height. I wanted something tall, and so that was really important to me. The table legs are beautiful. I cannot wait to get them to make sure that they're actually that beautiful in person. All the reviews talked about them being beautiful, and I did share it over on Instagram, and I had a couple of people messaging me saying that they had bought legs from this company before and that they were really good quality. So when they get here, you guys will see. But yes, we have decided to build our own. That way I can get it exactly the size that we need. And then we are going to just do a wood countertop. We're going to go in with some like really chunky wood on the top. I want this piece to look solid, very, very solid. So I'm really excited about it. We have 3 legs to go in the front. They're really beautiful. And then the back is going to be kind of just like some not pretty wood, because you're really not going to see that too much. The next question on that video is from Marilyn, and she had said, Robbie, I'm curious as to how big your greenhouse is. Everything you see, you comment that it would look great in the greenhouse. So I was just curious. I would love to see it on your channel. Maybe you have, but if you could show it again. We will pop some footage up right now of the greenhouse. And we also have a blog post going over all of the details of our greenhouse, going over how much it cost, what upgrades I chose. We will put a link to that in the description down below also, or you can go to visitourgarden.blog, and then under the blog tab, you will see the greenhouse section, and also all of the paint colors that we have around our property are in that. It is a 8x12 glass greenhouse, and I think that we made the right decision. Do I wish that we went bigger? Always, but I think it is the perfect size for our garden. So, I mean, of course, more space would always be fabulous, but I could not be happier with the size that we went. I also could not be happier with the BC greenhouse. They were fabulous to work with. Everything was so smooth. Anytime I had a question, they were quick to answer it, quick to get back to us with a solution, and I would build it again. I'm actually in the middle of working on a video. I don't exactly know when it's going to be out, sometime very end of October, maybe early November, of kind of answering all of the questions that we've gotten about the greenhouse, going over cost, going over size, going over upgrades, going over other options, just kind of touching on all of the subjects of the greenhouse. And I think that is going to be a very good video. I will have an expert on the phone with me, so that way I don't misspeak or say anything. But if you guys are curious about a greenhouse, you can check out our blog post. Or if you are thinking about getting a greenhouse, let BC Greenhouse know that I sent you their way. And that, my friends, is it for the Q&A this week. I'm going to go inside and go check on Brent. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button on this channel and over on the other one. Helps us out more than you know. I appreciate you guys being here, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.